What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Thor Media podcast. I am your host, Sock from Detailing Made Simple. And yeah, so pretty much for some reason, my intro video is like corrupted. It's giving me an HDR error. I reset my phone. I did all this stuff. It's just not cooperating. So I slowed down the walk around video so you can see the wheels and tires. And we'll be using Detail Codes Ragnarok. And before we get started with all of that, here is a 16-year-old BMW wheels. And yeah, here is a awesome sale that is going on right now at the House of Rags. Just use code DMS at checkout. It helps supports me as a content creator. But let's get on to the sale.
You know you're running wild on some real deal South Korean microfiber towels. I'm talking about from the yarn to the barn, brother. 25% off V1 microfiber towels, 15% off V2 new and improved microfiber towels, dude. All month long, microfiber mania at the House of Rags, brother.
We got Mr. Twister, we got the Edge, we got the Freebird, we got the Diva. Get yourself some towels.
Ooh, yeah, boy.
Now that you all know what promotions going on for the House of Rags on their microfiber towels, let's get started on talking about the detail code Ragnarok. And here is their acid wheel cleaner, which is called Ragnarok. And I am using it here. This is the original bottle. So after I got down to half, what I ended up doing is I cut it into a 1:3 dilution ratio, and I am using a 1:3 dilution ratio right here with the House of Rags. And the sprayer, for some apparent reason, after a while, it does clog up and destroy the sprayer trigger. So I just put on a different trigger sprayer. That one's from Mafra from Labo Cosmetica. But yeah, so I spray it all over the wheels and tires. And as you can see, that brake dust starts emulsifying pretty much immediately. And you will see the amount of shine and gloss. It just gives it that glow, like it's removing some of those pitted contaminants, like say, tar film, asphalt, even iron. It'll just break those stuff down, even in a 1:3 dilution ratio, which is awesome. If you do need it to be a little bit more potent or as strong as possible, you can use it straight out the bottle, but then you're not going to get the best cost efficient as possible. And sometimes there isn't really a huge amount of difference in cleaning if you were to use it straight. And I'm talking in particular for this wheels. If you got even more hammer wheels, then of course try to use it straight. But here you will see the result in a 1:3 dilution ratio. It's actually pretty amazing. And even the owner, when you saw him walk around, he was like, wow, this is some awesome stuff. And I'm not going aggressive, I'm not hard scrubbing, I'm just gently wiping it right now with a wheel and body brush and just agitating the cleaner in. One thing you don't want to do with this acid wheel cleaner is let it dry. Or with any acid wheel cleaner. I've learned my lesson back in the days with Meguiar's. So with Meguiar's Real Brightener. So trust me, you don't want to let any type of acid pretty much drown the paint. And if you're gonna keep working it in, just make sure you just re-wet it or just do a second application if need be. Now, some of the areas here, as you see me spray with the pressure washer, is that it is actually pretty much just pitted in and etched in. We're talking about a 16-year-old vehicle, and yeah, so that is pretty much it. I'm doing a second round on the barrels because it is pretty much caked in, and same thing with the lug nuts, just to get that extra cleaning power if possible. And that is just something that you just want to ensure that if you can get it out or something like that, sometimes it just needs a second pass because it was just so much stuff caked on there, and the first pass pretty much removes most of that the topical layer, and then the second one will help agitate more for whichever residual stuff was left over. And yeah, here are the results, and let me know what you all think. What is another product that you want me to try and use and do an education video on the House of Rags in general? And pretty much here are the results. It's a huge drastic change here on the front driver wheel, and I know I did miss a spot, but I just wanted to just hurry up and get this clip going so that way I could record the rear end one. So I did touch up that little area that was missed, but overall just a huge difference in the barrels, in the wheels, and it just makes the car pop. Now here we are on the rear side, and you will see that it's not as accumulated as much as brake dust, but there is a lot more etched in and petted in brake dust, which is kind of ironic. And then this wheel was a little bit warmer than the front wheels, and I asked the owner if it was okay. He said, yeah, do your thing, don't worry about it. I just wanted to see if the wheel cleaner was going to react different or dry or etch onto it. Maybe because I am using this in a 1:3 dilution ratio, all you will see is just a little bit of steam, but the wheel wasn't to the point of no return of if I put my hand on it, I got to move it right away. No, it was just slightly warm. You could keep your hand on there the entire time with or without gloves. That's just pretty much what was going on. And I just scrub on the oh, one thing I forgot to mention. So the tire cleaner I'm using here is actually in the IK bottles, actually tire cleaner from ADS. So that is for everybody to know. You all know I enjoy using ADS tire cleaner, and that is what I'm using. And then I just spray on Liberal all over the wheel. I end up spraying tire cleaner, or not tire cleaner, Ragnarok, from Detail Coat, and then I just agitate again just to see how much more of that cleanliness, how much more of those rust spots, how much more of those um, tar spots get dissolved by acid. And everybody is always afraid to use acid, and sometimes it's just needed. It just makes your whole process much easier. You just got to make sure you're not using it on pure, anodized wheels, powder coated wheels. You just want to make sure you're using on factory wheels, and you're pretty much set and good to go. Or even if you're using it on ceramic coated or ceramic carbon ceramic brakes. So those are just things that you just really got to look out for. And 90% of us don't have carbon ceramic brakes on any of our vehicles. So that is just something for you all to know. And yeah, so here I am rinsing everything off, and just look at the amount and drastic change that we were able to remove from those damages, from the pitted, rust spots and iron particles and asphalt and tar. Of course, on the top right half, you see that it's still pretty much permanently damaged, but we just made the wheel brighter. And it just goes to show that if you, in the long run, take care of your wheels from the beginning, it will last longer. So hopefully you all enjoy that video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I will see you all on the next one. Peace.